In 2005 then, we saw on MTV, of course, Microsoft getting the little celebrity buddies on tow, the introduction of the Xbox 360. Now this thing revolutionized the gaming market and solidified a building Microsoft Xbox Live gaming community. The Xbox 360 introduced the idea of online play, subscription based, meaning that you had to pay for it every month or year. But people were willing to do that. This was the first time that you would no longer have to have your friends coming to visit. You could play with people that lived in another town, another city, another country. You could expand your friendship base. And this was attractive at the time when gaming was moving from the awkward period of being something that was shunned by society to something that was accepted. Almost it was popular to be a gamer. And the Xbox series sort of made it cool to be a gamer. The Xbox community was slightly elitist. They had the reputation of being more down to earth, more welcoming, whereas with the PlayStation community, it has been commented that they're a lot more critical. Again, I believe it's the person, not the machine. The Xbox 360 then introduced us to a higher definition of gaming, the online play, as we've stated before. Also, an interesting thing that personally myself, that I was personally quite invested in, was the idea of system linking. You could link up Xboxes with other Xboxes, and we had these nights of system link nights, we called them, where you had 4 TVs and 4 Xboxes. You'd have 4 teams of 4, much like bowling nights in the 70s or drinking nights. And it was a great way for people to get together in a safe environment and actually enjoy each other's company. With the launch of the Xbox 360, the titles then continued to be the key factor of retaining customers or gamers. Halo, of course, developed. Halo 2, Halo 3 and so on were on the Xbox 360. You also saw the introduction of competing brands of games against PlayStation, and in my opinion, designed and built specifically to compete with brands across the competition. You had PlayStation's Gran Turismo, while Xbox has Forza. And what we mean is they were system specific. That means that Forza was just Xbox, Gran Turismo was just PlayStation 3. And this rivalry then really did begin between the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. The PlayStation 2 had titles upon titles. The walls were filled with games for the PlayStation 2. And that's where it became criticized. The PlayStation 2 gamers weren't real gamers, because any old BS was launched for the PlayStation 2 without any sort of real story or drive. Whereas the Xbox 360 games, they weren't as many, but the titles were, quote unquote, better, more in depth, better quality gaming. And I believe the reason for this is, now with, of course, using hindsight, we can, now that history has come and gone, we can see that PlayStation were building for their big reveal, the real nemesis in the market, the Xbox 360 versus the PlayStation 3. However, that was going to set up a continuing trend between PlayStation and Xbox that we see today, and we now see it with the quite controversial Xbox One.